Hey Kevin, it's Kerry. This is for Monday, May 6th. Before I jump into this, I know you'll be watching this. Um, I think you should put a stop in. Let's go to the feeder cattle. Just take a look at the chart. I have 146.07 all week long. Yes, we did technically close below this speed line, but so we don't have to talk at 7 a.m. because I know it's a busy time. I do think a stop needs to be put in before the open. So 146.07, and then we've got this low here, 145.82, and we're long from 145. Sorry, 146.50. Yes, yeah. I don't want to take more than a full point. So, um, you know, 146 doesn't want to give me 50. There's 47 half. Yeah, I don't think we should take more than a full point. You want to just put a full point stop in there, 145.50. Um, because this is, you know, I have a feeling we're going to get stopped. I don't know why I have that feeling. It's not hard to have that feeling, is it? Anyway, so, a 1 point stop for Monday morning, if you like. If you want to go higher than that, the low here was 145.82. If you want to go 145.80 or 145.77, but somewhere in the 145 half to 145 and three quarter area, I think is good. And if we take that area out, you can read the newsletter. I've got 139.75 as the next 2 to 3 week target, and the way things are playing out, it could be within a full week of trade, certainly. Um, so there's that. But I'm going to jump into. I did, by the way, if you look at your lineup, I'm doing a new gold 30-year. It's like a daily letter video. There's no writing. It's just me, audio. I'm kind of working it out. But anyway, you'll have access to the 30-year and the gold market. Um, and so let's just jump into the spreads. So here's the June AUG. And I think I'm going to actually, as part of the this new emphasis on spreads for the wider audience, if you will, I think I'm going to throw, I might do this later today, a separate video that you can watch, but it'll actually go out to some other spread guys that are currently subscribing to the spread letter for live cattle. That rather than the daily written rag, I'll do like, I don't know, 4 spreads by video every day with updates. 4 spreads as opposed to one, but what you're not getting is a written version of it. You're just getting kind of a rough, not just rough, it'd be highly precise, big picture areas. You'll see. We'll talk about it this week. Anyway, let's jump into June AUG. So we settled above this 370 formation. Is that at 370 today? I forget. I think I got 367 half to 370. We'll just call this 370. All right. You can see that there. And this is our target now. Let's just we'll call it, what the hell? We're not going to call it what the hell. Why is the date not showing up? I just think this is weird. Next 3 plus? I don't get it. I don't understand why I go to Monday and the date doesn't even show up. That's just weird. But anyway, it'll be it's 522 half today, and the next week 32 half, and so forth and so on. That's our objective. All right. Um, if we close below yesterday's low, 352 half, then I think we should expect at least this formation here that we're both quite familiar with, which is at 305, 307 on Monday and dropping into the 280s by the end of the week. So, let's just bottom line this: bullish above 370, expecting 520 in the coming 2 to 3 weeks. If we close below yesterday's low, 352 half, and even below this 370 formation, that doesn't look good. I think then this speed line doesn't make any sense here. This is so screwed up. These charts pissing me off. Anyway, we'll move on to August, October. We tested this channel structure here. That's at 103, 102 half now. Okay. And if we close below that, we're looking at 177 half still. But until then, you know, you got these old highs here. This shouldn't be a big surprise that we topped out in this scenario. The high settlement here was 0.25. We got right there in the money on Friday, and we backed off, closed negative. So you could say this channel structure is in reach this week. But following the test of that channel structure, we have basically even money here as our area that can contain weekly buying pressures. And if we get up and over it, you know, we're looking for this. Okay? All right. OCDIS. Still bearish below all this stuff. This 3-2 formation is 3.55. And we have some old structure at 347, but I really think 355 is the one. Settlement above 355. And this spread turns bullish. Until then, you've got all kinds of resistance up here. And this market can continue south. Down into this area, I suppose. October DEES. DEES Feb. All right, we settled below a structure that today is at 2650. And that's our ceiling for the week. And where this thing ultimately gets to is anybody's guess. You know, you've got some Fibonacci wave counts that really don't offer in the way of structural support. They're just sort of, could they stop there? Sure. Will they is another question altogether. I do think the market likely wants, if you will, to reach this full spread down here at 2 even. There's also what you could say kind of a double channel structure down in the same area. Do I have that shown? No. All right. So that's kind of our objective. And that's -4. So holding below -265 by the end of June or sooner, -4 even. If we get back above this, it's kind of a hard-fought battle, but I think this channel structure at the very least is likely, and quite possibly this one here. That's probably more realistic. If we close above this former channel bottom, that is our ceiling at 265 even, then this is likely, which right now is at -140. Okay. DEES Feb, that was. Now, this is the, call them the Brad spreads. June, October. Settled above. Thursday, follow through on Friday. Looking for this area still, which is 465 to 4825. That's our target, and we have a channel structure here at, I'm going to call this 2825. And then the speed line remains at 1450. So if we close back below, you know, 2.285, then the next week or two should result in a retest of this speed line at 145. Until then, this is our resistance area. Is this sellable? I think so. You've got lots of stuff up here. You've got a high settlement too of 4575 right here. So yeah, this is a area worth taking a shot at. And if we get above it, I already have this channel structure at 597. We could get up to 597 anyway, following this buy signal and the test of long-term support. So, June-OC. October DEES. Oh, look at that. Push through, no settlement above. So where are we today? There's all kinds of stuff that starts at like, 1.7 at 2.0 and 2.25 and so forth, but negative 4.225 is the level to settle above. We pushed through it, did not close above it. You and I talked about buying this on a stop, and I don't remember if we arrived at any sort of a conclusion. I hope we're not long the spread right now. I don't think we are. Anyway, holding below this, we can easily collapse back, quite easily. But closing above it, this is AUG-DEIS, does indicate this area up here at 2925. And in fact, we got a secondary resistance level at 2.425. So you could call this like a half point of significant resistance that would be targeted, at least the initial one, above negative 4.225. Until then, this is a toppy process. October Feb. This is our big resistance area up here. This speed line doesn't even exist anymore. So that needs to be taken out. This channel is still there. I'm going to remove that and do this because I think we've got some symmetry up here between these two. Yeah. I'm going to take that away just so we can make better sense of this area as sort of our ceiling right now. I don't know what the 1/3 speed line's got to say about any of that. Double bottom here this week. Same area. Get out of there. So that speed line needs to be adjusted so that it's accurate. It's all coming in together here. So this is let's just call this negative 5.50 because that's exactly where that speed line is. All right. That's the ceiling on this particular spread. I don't see us getting there this week. But, if we closed above this high, which is valid, it's actually kind of a channel top that I don't need to construct because you have a double bottom and then against the intermediate high. If we get above that high, then we could certainly test it. But until then, it remains bearish. Where to? That's a good question. Tough to actually determine. You've got the double channel extensions, which we've already violated. And I'm just eyeballing it down here. It could be these highs right in here is probably what that is. You've got a steeply descending channel top, or channel bottom, but I mean, it is dropping at such a good rate. It's really only weekly containment. So, alrighty. And these two are the Johnson Research. Look at that. Hop, skip, and a jump. So all the support is obsolete now. This is actually a good buy signal right here. I mean, you've got the old spread low, closed below it, which also was the high of the low itself. We closed above that high last Wednesday, and we've continued going up ever since. And we also settled above this channel structure. So, I don't want to fart around with these too much because I know we're not going to trade them, but just looking. And then the AUG June is a completely different thing. So let's go into the lean hog spreads. All right, this is the hogs over cattle, and we settled above this high. This structure here. See, they do give us days. I don't know why I'm so confused on this. This is Monday, and then you've got Tuesday, which is negative 18. All right. So this is hogs, live cattle, June 19. All right. And, you've got the buy signal here, and that support is negative 31. I'm going to go 825, but, do they even have those increments in a intermarket spread like this? So this is our big support. You know, you could, and I'm going to eyeball this. I'm not going to get all exact, but, you've got a double channel formation up in here, roughly. So, there's that. And I imagine you've got a double, you got a full, yeah, you got a full Fibonacci wave as well. You get above this, takes us all the way up into here. So anyway, we can keep an eye on that. But these are day by day, but they're close only, right? Yeah. So, but at least we know what the resistance is on Monday, which is negative 18. All right. So, and why did I get into that? Because we had it up. All right. Look at this. Now, I can honestly say now I'm glad we got out of that spread. We closed above it Thursday, came crashing back on Friday. How valid is this speed line anymore is anybody's guess. We'll keep it there for now. Is it sellable? I don't know. I don't know. This is too volatile. I think you would agree. But this is the June AUG. That is the low. These are so short term. I mean, the angle of this is so steep. I'll just put it out there. Negative 4.225. I think that's where we got out roughly, isn't it? So, yeah. And the low is negative 4.475. So, we violate this low, which is the move high so far. We would have already violated this channel structure, and I think that's weak. And what does that mean? I still then think that, why don't I have it constructed? Bear with me here. That channel structure. Right there. We settled below it that day. Nice rally, though, off of this purchase. Yeah, so that's at negative 6.40. Dropping a little bit every day. So do we buy this again down here? That's a good question. I think the first time you do, the second time I'm suspect. But, we'll talk about it when we get down there, assuming we do. We might not. This remains our big resistance. I'm just going to put 5.5 there. All right. August, October lean hogs. Not quite the sell-off in this one. Still looks good down here. Failed sell signal. 6825, 715. I don't know if I should even update these because I don't know if we're going to be. Is that right? No, of course not. All right, so there's that. And we still have this as a big resistance area, which I'm going to go 750 there. So this spread still looks good. We did close negative on the day. This is our buy zone. If we violate it, look out below. October. October Dece. Follow through on that buy signal. So the further out we go, the better these spreads look. You know, so this held for all intents and purposes. 430 was the low. 27.5 was the. I'm still going to call that 27.5. And you know, it still looks good up into the 6.25 area where you've got some old highs and a 50% retracement. July, October. Speed line holding on this one. That's at 765 today. And then above that, you got this channel structure at 10.075. And let me take a look. There's got to be more here. Yeah, there we are. Okay. So this was a similar situation as the June AUG. This is July, October. Oh, these are the Brad spreads. I'm just going to say this channel top is valid, but it's really the high of the low and this channel bottom. 550. That's your zone of support. Begins at the high of the low. This thing, which is at 6375 today, I don't think it's, you know, you want to make note of it. AUG Dece. This is the Warners, the Brad. Still 2.90. 1140. We're above this former channel structure. This thing looks still good right now. I mean, it's going to have trouble, of course. 9 point. Would I buy it here? No. But this signal was pretty good. We closed back below 1290. I don't know if I'd want to buy this structure. It's just so short term. It's just, there's no, initially it's a good pop to the upside, but and ideally if you bought this, you just want to see this thing continue going up. But now we're backing off a bit. And so it's a bit of a mixed bag if we close back below 1290. Is it outrageously bearish? No, but I wouldn't be surprised to see the market continue south and essentially ignore this channel formation. October, Feb. Well, this is interesting. This is daily. I like this as a buy signal, to be honest, because I like how the speed line and the channel are coming together. So you have a channel at 255 and a speed line at 270. Just call it 275. And we could close above it, we're talking 597. That's a 3-point move right there. We already have a bit of a buy signal above 2.25, the high of this low. So we're already in the midst of that and above this channel formation. So this is our pivot point. I wouldn't sell this because we have a series of sort of little buy signals right now. But this is the one to act on, I think. So we could talk about this tomorrow morning if you like. Certainly if we open above 275, let's say we open at 310, 340, whatever, 275 could be bought. Alrighty, and we could get a full 3 points out of this thing, you know, like quickly. Like by the end of next week, I think at the most. because if we haven't reached it by the end of next week, it's that this signal has likely failed, just given how volatile it is. All right, and that's the October Feb, and that's it on all those. I set you up with the gold video. I think I told you that. You open up the gold. There's actually a video you can click on at the top of the PDF chart. So I'll keep that going your way. Cattle, a lot of the stuff you can look at the newsletters themselves. We still are bearish AUG, and June is yet to test at Speedline. 110.60 June contract is our primary support, and I think we'll get down there in the next week or two, possibly this week. And I'm just kind of combing through here. Wheat has been testing, long-term support. You can look at the newsletter itself. It's probably a better, more effective way, but 433 even. So this is a good support region. And as I've been telling you, if we close below it, and by that I mean 428 and 3/4, a 1% violation of 433 even. If on Friday we close 428 and 3/4 or lower, we need to set ourselves up with, I hate to say spread. I'd rather buy a put, a 390 put perhaps. Crude oil. I know we got burned on something here not long ago, but 59.60 is a base of support. If we get down here, I'm open to buying out of the money calls. 65s or 70s down in this vicinity, if you're so inclined, with a monetary stop of $300 or $400. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think I've covered it all. We're about a half an hour into this, so I'm just going to go. And you got the 30-year in gold, by the way. I'll say that a third time if you want to check that out. And otherwise, we will talk in the morning.